Welcome to the Spirit Gathering teleconference. Today is March 17th, 2015, and my name is Deborah Noble Coburn. The topic tonight is Spring, a time for renewal and newer beginnings. And we're so glad you can join us tonight. We're recording this call so that people who could not be here tonight can listen in. Please press either your phone's mute button or *6 to mute your line to keep the line quiet, and then *6 to unmute. We are going to be using a conversation council tonight, so you can speak at any time. Just take care to let the current speaker finish before you begin. And Diane is going to remind us when we are approaching time for a closing circle tonight. Thank you, Diane. So now let's take a moment to get settled, to center ourselves, to let go of the events of the day, and begin to enter the deeper sacred space within ourselves. A few more deep breaths. Now let us imagine that we are joining together, sacred heart to sacred heart, with every other person on this call right now. Now let us imagine that we are joining together in a circle with a light or a flame or a fire in the center. And imagine a spoke of that light coming from the center of the circle to your heart. And for each person on the call tonight or listening in after to the recording, a spoke of light coming from the center of the circle. And now we are connected, sacred heart to sacred heart. Now let us set our intentions. We listen to one another with compassion and curiosity. We ask for what we need and offer what we can. We deepen our connection with one another and the divine. May this sharing serve us, our communities, and the planet. And so it is. Spring is a time for renewal and new beginnings. From the beginning of time, the flow of seasonal energies has inspired, united, and connected us in harmony and in celebration. Each season offers different themes, qualities, and lessons in empowering others and us. Tonight we'll explore bringing the seasonal energy of spring into your work and home and heart by creating sacred seasonal space. The first thing I'd like to speak about is spring cleaning, because in order for us to make new beginnings, we must ready the space, whether it be physically, emotionally, or energetically. There is quite a different, people like to argue back and forth about who actually came up with the concept of spring cleaning. And the three most prevalent cultures that we can attribute spring cleaning to are, some people will attribute it to the Jewish Passover, because when you are in preparation for Passover, all of the leavened bread must be cleaned out of the house. And even a few crumbs of leavened bread in the house is seen as an affront to God. So in the Jewish culture, the cleaning for Passover is to get even the tiny little crumbs of leavened bread out of the house. And so, of course, this requires spring cleaning. The Chinese do this as well in preparation for their new beginning, their new year. They sweep the floors, and they want to rid the house of bad luck that the previous year may have brought them, or any misfortune that might be lingering in the house before they start their new year of new beginnings. And thus, in the Chinese tradition, spring is considered a time of great optimism and great looking forward to new things in their life. In Iran, the beginning of spring is March 21st, the vernal equinox, much as it is here. And there they do what's known as shaking the house. It's a 2-week ritual, very intense and very much of a codified spring cleaning in preparation for their spring. And so I thought it would be fun tonight to take a look at what it is symbolically that we need to sweep out of our lives, let go, in preparation for the new beginnings. And so I'll ask everyone to get into a bit of a meditative space, and however you would like to do this. And just imagine, let your mind relax, and just imagine what it is that comes to mind. Just let it come to mind. What it is that you need to spring clean. Is it something that has been neglected for a bit and just perhaps needs a little cleaning and polishing, or is it something that really isn't relative to your life any longer and it needs to be passed on or tossed away to make room for something fresh and alive and vibrant? Okay. And come back into the base of the circle. And if you would like, I would like for you to share with the group what came to mind for you that you'd like to let go of, release, clean up, give away, toss away, move beyond. And I'll start. I will say that spring for me is going to be a lot of spring cleaning. I have just signed the deed on the house over to my former husband and stepchildren, and so I am letting go of my house. I'm letting go of my old lifestyle, and I am beginning a new lifestyle in a community very close to my work, and am looking forward to finding a new home. So I will be energetically letting go of that old lifestyle, which no longer was for my highest good. Would someone else like to share what came to mind for them?
This is Diane. Excuse me. What arose for me was, interestingly, I have a tickle in my throat. At the emotional level, desperation arose for me. And it's that grabby kind of energy that, wants to have things settled and to have things stabilized. And in that is also trust that that everything is just perfectly fine. I've got something of a part-time job, but I need more steady work, and was invited to join a small organization that I'm familiar with from some years ago, and which I'm excited about. They're a startup, and they're more than a startup at this point, but it's quite small, and they're really busy because there's a few people minding the shop, but you're a jack of all trades. And so I did hear from them subsequent to a conversation, but there's this part of me that is desperate for the next steps to come into place. And I'd really like to move that desperation into really flow and alignment and connection, and just it's that rhythm and right timing and trusting that. So I'd really like to replace and move desperation on and replace that with trust and flow. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
This is Judy. I am very ready to release regrets which have included roads and relationships not taken. Thank you.
Thank you. Star 6 if you'd like to unmute and speak. Hi, this is Nancy. I would like to release clutter of all sorts in my life, from that which is in my home, materially, to any emotional, mental clutter, and to let go of anything that I perceive as an obstacle to being full and whole and joyful, and into any possibilities in life. And these are inner and outer obstacles, to see them for what they are, for the illusions that they are, and to have renewed confidence and excitement and fearlessness, and to laugh more and live more and explore. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share?
Hi, this is Amy. I would like to release and clean out in a gentle and joyful way any resistance I have to a more complete surrender to the flow, to divine flow. I struggle with knowing how to be myself instead of a channel or a teacher or a leader, and be in that surrender state. Like, I think sometimes I confuse being myself with resisting that flow, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And I think I would just like more clarity around that, around being myself fully, and a deeper level of surrender to the flow of divine love and light and beingness. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to share?
It's Ying.
Hey, Ying.
Hi. I have boxes of containers in my living room. It's like very hard to carry all of them. It's like looking at the mountain. So I would like to do it very joyfully and gently, without any stress, and just to let it go. The springtime and complete.
Thank you. And I would also like to encourage anyone who is listening in to the recording to identify something that they would like to sweep away, spring clean, let go of. And as a circle, let's visualize all of these things that we have expressed interest in letting go of, evolving, meaning let's visualize these dissolving gently and easily and with joy. Or transmuting to a higher vibration so that they're more sparkly and new and full of beautiful energy. Okay. And of course, once we've done the spring cleaning and cleared some of that old stagnant energy away, it is time for the fun part, the new beginnings. I always think that spring is a season of optimism, and everywhere, especially where I am in Northern Virginia, in the Washington, D.C. area, it is such a beautiful, beautiful place with bulbs and trees and everything in full bloom. A perfect time for plants to begin, for flowers to begin, for trees to come back and rejuvenate, for painting, for picking up your old pastels that you haven't done anything with for years, whatever that might be. I'd like us to close our eyes once more and just relax and see what drifts into our mind's eye as a project, a new beginning, something to revitalize during this coming spring. Okay. And I will share what will be new for me is a new home. I am currently living in a loft in someone's home while I'm between houses, and this house is on the market. So I will definitely be getting a new home, and I'm very, very excited to find that perfect home in a community that I've identified that I really like, and then be able to fill that home with beautiful energy, and to be able to once again have a quiet space where I can meditate and create joy and beauty and entertain friends and family. And once we finish sharing, if that's what you choose to do, what came to you for your new beginning, we will do a little group exercise to energize these. And those of you who are listening in, at a later time, please know that we will be energizing future projects too. The project of those of you who will be calling in at a later date. So, who would like to share what project came to them or what it is in their life they'd like to revitalize, renew, restore?
This is Judith. I'd like to share what I'm birthing. After 7 years of kindness cards and kindness circles and starting a global kindness revolution with people in prison, we're going to be having kindness circles inside prisons. And we have people now part of the whole thing in Afghanistan and Iran. And things are happening so quickly, my head is sort of spinning with it. And so we're going to have a national kindness circle on October 25th for this country. And then we'll kick off a global kindness circle for next spring. And I don't know what's going to happen, but things are just happening and people are getting on board. So I just want you all to mark your calendars and stay tuned. I have to bring you up to date, Amy. I know we haven't talked in a long time. That's because things are happening so quickly. It would take an hour to catch up, but we're going to have that hour very soon, I promise. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Diane. What arose for me was really self-love and a connection to self in a deeper and more intimate way. It feels like it's a continuation of the minister course that I took through Tzaddi last year, where a lot of parts of me came together so there's more of me that's available. And at the very inner core, at the spark of light, at my own divine light, there's this desire to connect more easily and fully with that beam of light. And so that was very interesting and kind of unexpected, but yet I know that too. Like that's come to my mind before in my awareness. And so it just feels really strong this evening, and it feels really great. And I'd love to energize that. And thank you for your support. I'm complete.
Hi, this is Nancy. I'd like to follow Diane because I have a kind of similar focus of inner renewal, and I would like to energize my path forward as being one of also total self-love and non-judgment, and for me and for all others, and a fearlessness and being open with excitement as opposed to fear to the future and whatever it brings, and to really be solid in the knowing that that things are expanding into more fun and more beauty and more life-supporting endeavors, whatever they are, and to be really
calm and optimistic about what will unfold, even if it's not known now. Thank you, and thank you for your support as well. And if this is a project or something that came into your mind and you feel that you would like to keep it close to your vest at this point, you are most welcome to simply say, I am placing my project in the circle to be energized.
So this is Ying. I like to place two projects in this energy. Starting in April, I'm going to have art lessons. I found a very great art teacher, very creative. And also I joined a photography club in Chinese community in New York, also starting in April. So very excited. I need to be energized, the projects. Thank you. I'm complete.
This is Judy from Michigan. The largest project I have been engaged in materially for some time is to preparing my home for sale. And it's all for the purposes of co-creating, locating a welcoming, sacred community, a community of light, to continue to do work with others in a joyful way, with complete trust and understanding that is greater than that which has happened under three-dimensional situations. So I'm envisioning a welcoming community where, I am not sure, a place of light, a place of love. I thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. This is Amy. I'd like to energize the project in the biggest sense of having clarity of purpose and knowing how to use my gifts, how to use the gift of the time that remains in my life. You know, having had that illness for some years, I'm really deeply grateful for every day that I have, and I'm very healthy now, and I'm very in good flow and good spirits, but I'd like to really have clarity about my higher purpose, the best way to use my gift. And it's just, I keep feeling like I want to tell you this little story about that. I'm teaching a golden body class right now, a rose light class. I'm finally back in the saddle, strong enough, well enough to be able to be teaching rose light work, which is my work apart from Tzaddi. And it's so great to be teaching after Basker's work again. And it's put me in touch more with
with wanting to be in those energies more. And we have some goats on our farm now, and they've just given birth, some dairy goats. And I've never done this before, and it's been a big deal for me and very joyful and very scary. And I had to help out with the birth on Friday night, and it was a difficult birth. There were 4 babies, and 2 of them were stuck. One of them was born dead, and one of them was born alive. But, I mean, I had to pull them out. I had my arms in up to my elbow, and all by myself here, no other humans, and at night with a lamp on my head. It was crazy. And the one was born dead, but I managed to save the life of the last one with my intervention, and he's growing and he's thriving, and it's amazing. And I really had to use my energy skills and my Athabascar rose light energy skills in this situation, and I'm pretty sure if I hadn't, then things would have turned out pretty differently. But there was so much kind of hoopla on that Friday night that I didn't even think about what I was doing. I mean, I was just in this flow state, and I just did it, and I don't even know how I managed to do it, but I did. And then the goat doe, has been pretty under the weather since then. I don't know if she's torn inside from having me, and then later the doctor stick our arms up inside of her, or if this is just normal, like her normal way of being after she has babies. But she's still bleeding a couple of days later. And every day she's stronger, she's eating, she's better, but, she's not right. And the other doe is just, like, placid, and her babies are really fat, and, it's like a contrast. So I've been in anxiety about, like, well, should I be calling the doctor to come back here and look? And the light bulb went on. Give her a healing, run golden energy on her. And I sat in a goat pen, and I did this Athabascar rose light thing for maybe 5-10 minutes. It wasn't a long time. And that goat has gotten so much better ever since. Mm-hmm. And the babies come to me now. They all, when I came out of it, the one little baby was just like, pick me up, hold me, pick me up, hold me. Instead of like being not attracted to me, they were just like glomming onto me and wanting contact. And it just makes me realize, I need to be doing this more. Like, I have a gift, and I need to be doing this more. And so I'm getting clearer about the fact that this is a special thing that I have, and that I'm good at helping other people to have it, too. It's not just about me, but how exactly to do that and how to balance that with Tzaddi. I'd love to energize clarity about that, and just absolute clarity as it all unfolds. It's like, where can I do the most good to me?
Thank you for sharing.
There's 14 minutes remaining.
Okay. Well, let's close our eyes as a circle and envisioning all of the projects and the wishes and the hopes and the aspirations that this circle has just expressed as their new beginnings for spring. And also knowing that those who tune into this call in the next several days will be adding, or can, if they choose, add their spring project or new beginning or aspiration into the circle. And then as a circle, using whatever energy skills you have, as long as they are high and pure, they will work together. energizing these projects, seeing them grow and develop, seeing the clarity, the purpose, seeing them tweaked and expanded and sorted, whatever it is that needs to go into these projects, coming easily and gently and with great joy. And seeing the creator and developer of the project pleased, rewarded, and seeing the benefits of this project going out into their home, family, community, town and state, region and country, for as far as it needs to go. Enriching and enlightening. A confirmation of their gifts and their service. And so it is. And coming back into the room. Does everyone feel complete, or is there something that someone in the circle would like to say before we close? Okay. Is everyone?
I have something. It's Amy. I'd like to share that. I'd just like to share some lovely energy with you. It's really spring here. And the California poppies are blooming. The daffodils have already bloomed and gone, and the plum blossoms bloomed and gone. Right now the cherry blossoms are on, and the orange blossoms are opening. And I have an orange tree, and it's covered in blossom this year. It's just intoxicating. Today I walked up on the hill with my dog and my son, and we laid on the earth and looked at the blue sky and the white clouds, and the grass was long and it was waving, and there were orange poppies around us, and I just want to share that energy with all of you. It was so beautiful. And then I came down the hill, and there were 4- and 5-day-old goats leaping around and butting their mother's udders and getting drinks of milk and skipping, and it's just, I want to share that spring energy with you from my home, and hope that if you're in places where there's dark and cold still to come, that you'll take this little slice I'm giving you and absorb it, and it will give you nutrient density. That's me. Happy spring.
Thank you, Amy. And happy spring to everyone. We thank you for joining us for this Spirit Gathering teleconference. The call may be archived as an MP3 at www.tzaddi.org. Phone access to the recording of this call is available until next month's call. For playback of the recording, dial 712-432-1085. The access code is 990322#. We hope you'll join us for our next Spirit Gathering on April 21st. These calls are hosted by Tzaddi an interspiritual metaphysical organization founded in California in 1964. Tzaddi welcomes, nurtures, and supports people in celebrating and more directly experiencing a relationship with the loving presence of the divine. Our programs are open to people of any race, color, or national or ethnic origin. Visit www.tzaddi.org to learn more. We will now close with thanks and a blessing. Thanks to Tzaddi founders Amy Keyes and Dorothea Blackmere. Thanks to all of you who have been a part of our community tonight, and thanks to the divine who supports us always, even when we are not aware of it. And blessings on all of you who have been able to join us tonight, and blessings on those who are calling in to review the call. Blessings for a happy and wonderful spring full of rejuvenation, rejoicing, and new beginnings. Good night. Wish everyone.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Bye.